Always these discussions start with Mark Twain's most famous quote that whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting. I'm afraid that's been the way it's been. Let me just lay out how I see the solution. That this is, we have to take into account the action that the legislature did this last week in passing several pieces of legislation and a bond act. But holding that aside for a moment, a couple of things are the precursors to a discussion. First of all, the climate is changing. Our great reservoir, the snowpack, is diminishing and will diminish to perhaps 30 to 70% less over the years. That's the Sierra snowpack and the Colorado snowpack. These are the sources of water for California. That raises a huge question for us. And therefore, the solutions lie in addressing this in its totality, not in just one piece, that is the delta, but rather in the totality of the problem. First and foremost, conservation everywhere. Agricultural conservation, industrial, municipal, Lawrence Livermore, Sandia, wherever, and in your home, conservation. There's not going to be that much water around, and our population will continue to grow, and this is a serious issue for California's future. So, conservation. Secondly, we have to reuse the water that we have. The fifth largest river on the west coast of the Western Hemisphere are the sanitation facilities in Southern California. We pump water 400 miles, 5,000 feet in the air, clean it, use it once, clean it again, and dump it in the ocean. Hello? Or you can take it from the Colorado and do the exact same thing. It's about 250 miles, it's about 1,000 feet elevation, and use it, clean it, use it, dump it in the ocean. So for Southern California and for Northern California, the recycling of water is essential. It has to be part of our program in the future. This is going to require that money be made available for it, federal money, and this is one of the issues I'm working on, already worked on it, and will continue to work on with Janet Napolitano, the Congresswoman for Southern California, who heads up the subcommittee. So that's, and by the way, those of you that like to put down Orange County, they are way ahead of every other place in California on this matter. They are into serious recycling and doing a very, very good job at it. The other thing is storage. We need storage. Turns out that reservoirs in Southern California are bigger than Shasta Reservoir. They're all underground. These are the aquifers. Many of them are not used. They're contaminated. They're not used. So the recycled water goes into those aquifers, extracted, cleaned, and then reused and recycled back into them. That's what they're doing in Orange County. Again, it's a leader, and it shows us what can be done. Some, incidentally, of the stimulus money could be used immediately. There are shovel-ready projects in this area. Congressman George Miller has authorized 5 projects along the Contra Costa area for recycling, and those projects are moving forward. They are shovel-ready. There are a lot of jobs associated with it. Agricultural conservation, the aquifers under agricultural land. The legislation, in my view, was not sufficient in dealing with the underground aquifers insofar as agriculture is concerned. Those have to be monitored. They're just too important not to deal with the proper use. In many of those aquifers, if they are depleted, they cannot be restored. And so great care needs to be taken, and we need to understand those aquifers in detail. Surface storage reservoirs are in our future. One not so far from here, Los Boqueros. I was going to say Los Positos, but I think that's a Los Boqueros Reservoir was initially going to be much larger. It will be much larger in the years ahead, and will be significantly, it's almost 3 times larger in the future, and that's important. There are another offstream reservoir further to the north, and